Welcome back to another LeetCode video. We're currently going through the bit manipulation problems here on LeetCode.io. And we just completed the first two, and we're going to have a look at the next one now. It's also an easy problem. And the nice thing about these bit problems here is that, with some basic computer science knowledge, you can solve all of them quite quickly. I think it's a good refresher to go through them, which is why I'm doing them. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, LeetCode 338, counting bits. We're given an integer n, and we should return an array answer of length n plus 1, such that for each I between 0 and n, the answer is the number of ones in the binary representation of I. Aha, so we now have to, let's see, we have to loop over an array and then count the number of bits in each of the number representation. Well, in the previous video about counting bits, counting 1 bits, we saw the solution for implementing, to get the bit count. And in this problem, I'm just going to, I'm going to explain that a little less, I guess, because you could just look at that video. So now for here, we will have a for loop to iterate over for I in range n, and n is inclusive. And since, yeah, that's fine. And now we just count the number of bits, right? Count 1 bits of a value. Let's call this value maybe k. And yeah, and then we have to have a result array. We're just going to append to that. And we're going to append count 1 bits of, why don't we use k here as well, of k. Then we're going to return the result. That's all we need to do. And in order to count the 1 bits, I've shown you before that you have a little while loop. And what you do is you iterate as long as the number that you try and, from which you're trying to get how many 1 bits it has, is larger than 0. Count, and then all we do is count plus equals k modulo 2, and then we just divide k by 2. So that should give us exactly the right answer. Right, so let's submit this to see if it works. Apologies if the explanation was a little short, but it was exactly the same problem as the number of 1 bits. Except that we now had to add a loop to iterate through them.